Hello YouTube, the Buffalo Pile here. Today we're going to do a little cooking. Well, I say cooking, it's kind of camp cooking. You ever been out on a camping trip or out on a hiking trip where you've taken some pre-packaged meals that all you had to do was add hot water to? Well, we're going to try that out today. I was at my local Academy Sports not too long ago, and back around the 1st of July, and I picked up a couple of different options they had there. They had this Mountain House, uh, which is a pretty popular brand. A lot of people like it. We're going to talk about the differences in these two, but I thought we'd try these two because they got two different cooking methods, two different ideas, two different amounts, and we're going to kind of see, bang for the buck. So we got the Mountain House. It was about under $10. It was about $9, $9.50, something like that. Um, and then we got this O'Meals, this Southwest chicken. Now, one of the big differences is this one here says it's only good for about 3 or 4 years, and Mountain House has just recently upgraded some of their stuff to 30 years. That's right. If you've got mountain houses sitting around from the 1980s when you were a Boy Scout or when you were a little kid out camping and stuff and you never did eat them, they say go ahead and open them up. They're good to go. The the best buy date on this one right here that I've got in my hand is April of 2050. So Mountain House is becoming a long-term storage food for those of y'all that are into that. This other one, not so long-term, but like I said, we're going to try them out because we're interested in weekend camp food or for hiking food, and we're going to prepare both of them, show you what it takes to prepare them both. They're both pretty easy, and then we're going to do a taste test. Miss Pookie's going to join us and going to help us out with the taste test to see which one she likes the best and for flavor and everything else. And then we'll look at amounts and stuff too. But this one was about $9, and this one was, I think, was about $8. So they were pretty close in price. This one says it's 2 servings, and this only 1 serving. So anyway, we'll get into the details on that when we get inside in a few minutes. Yeah, it's August in Arkansas, and it's hot out here, so we're not going to build a fire or start a camp stove or anything out here to cook on today. We're going to go back into Miss Pookie's kitchen and do our food prep in there. So thank y'all for joining me today. It's a beautiful day out here on the porch. I'll see you in the kitchen in a few. All right, we're in here now in Miss Pookie's kitchen. We're going to look at the directions on these. Directions are pretty simple. On the Mountain House, it says you open the package and then you carefully add 1.5 cups of boiling water. And you stir carefully and close the zipper. Wait 5 minutes, stir again and reseal, and then let stand an additional 4 minutes for you to stir and enjoy. And you can eat it right out of the bag, so you don't need an extra bowl. That's a plus. But we're gonna put a cup and a half of water on the boil right now. Okay, for this particular deal, I'm going to use a measuring cup. If you're out on a trail or something, you probably don't have a measuring cup, but most of your water bottles have a measuring deal on the side, so you can kind of figure out what a cup and a half of water is. If you get a little more, you're probably okay. You probably don't want to get too much less, though, because it's freeze-dried food, and you want it to get all rehydrated, and you sure don't want it to be crunchy when you get done. So I'm going to pour a cup and a half in my handy measuring cup here for the Mountain House, and I'm gonna go put it in the pot over here and get it going to the boil. Okay, so while that's boiling, let's talk just a minute. On the Mountain House, it says there's 2 servings in here. Each serving is 250 calories, so there's almost 500 calories in one bag, and it says it's one bag, one serving, but probably 2 servings, but you're probably gonna be pushed to feed 2 people, especially if they've been out hiking are out busy on a camp trip out of one bag. So I'd plan on a bag per person. Again, price-wise, they're about the same, less than $10 a bag. So you can't eat at McDonald's for less than about $10. So you might as well get enough so everybody has plenty to eat. Okay, so we're going to tear this one at the tear tab and get it opened up. And then we remove the oxygenator tab. We don't want that in there. It's one of them do not eat things that they put in everything to keep it from oxygenating. And that's what we got. And we'll pour our water in there in just a minute, and then we'll seal it up and let it get to cooking. Now, the Southwest style chicken, the directions on it are to open the bag up here, and it's got a notch, just like the other one. So we're going to open this bag up. But this is in pouches in here. So we want to open it, and we want to remove the pouches. Okay, this first pouch is our food pouch, and this food's not dehydrated. I can feel it, it's not dehydrated, it's just ready to eat. So we're just it's gonna heat up, but it is sealed in this pouch, and it does say it'll last for 3 to 4 years. And another thing they provide here is they provide you utensils. Got you a spoon and a napkin right there in the package. Also in this one, they've got the heater element. And this is a heating element. I guess it's kind of like what you'd find in a lot of your MREs that the military do. They provide their own heating element. You open the pouch, drop the heating element in, and it cooks it up. Now, on the back here it says we're going to add 3 to 5 ounces of any type of water. So it doesn't have to be clean water, because you're not pouring the water into the food. You're just going to heat the food in the bag with the water that you put in here. And it also provides a fill line. So if you're out and you don't have a way to measure 3 to 5 ounces of water, fill it to the line. So we're going to set the food bag down in here. Then I got this little cup here, holds 4 ounces of water. It's a little measuring cup. So we're going to pour it full, and then we're going to fill up to the line and see how we do here. All right. And that 4 ounces gets us right up to the line. So the next direction here is to open the heating pack. It's got a tear here to open. And when you open this, I'm guessing it's going to activate when it hits that water, and it's going to start heating that up. When you get this in there, you're going to seal it, and it's got a little vent hole here, and you want to be careful with that vent hole, because they say it will be blowing out hot steam. So I'm going to drop this into the water and let that reaction start happening. I'm going to seal this one up and put it back here out of the way, and we'll watch it as it gets cooking. I'm going to step over here and check our water on the stove, see how we're doing. Our water on the stove likes just a minute. I'm going to go get my phone to do my timing with. This first batch stays in here for 3 to 5 minutes. So we need to get a timer going for 3 to 5 minutes. Miss Pookie's getting that going. I hear her phone clicking right now. So she'll be on this. Oh, and right there's her steam. You can see the steam coming out of that bag. Boy, you can there on the camera too. Starting to fill that bag up too. It's warm, so you want to be careful. Like I said, you want to have a good, safe place to have it. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to mess up Miss Pookie's counter. I'm going to get a hot pot right here right quick and set it on there. Because I don't want Miss Pookie on me in a little bit. She's over there watching because she's got the timer going. All right, I hear my water boiling over here on the stove, so we're going to get it and see if we can get this one going. Okay, boiling hot water. Carefully add I'll tell you what, let me get another one of these silicone hot pads here. It says carefully add 1.5 cups of boiling water. Stir carefully and close the zipper. So we're going to pour this water in. All right. grab us a spoon and we're going to give it a stir. Get everything into the water. And then we're going to seal this one up. These are both full line bags, so they're designed to handle the heat. But again, if you're doing this on a countertop or a tabletop you're worried about, put down a hot mat because they are hot. Both of them are very hot right now. And we're going to wait 5 minutes, and then we're going to stir this again and reseal for another 4 minutes to finish it up. While that's going on, I'm going to get a couple of plates down because we want to see. Out in the wild, we would just eat these right out of the bag because you don't need extra utensils and things. But here we want to see how much we're making in each particular case. We want to kind of compare the amounts that we get. So again, I'm going to protect Miss Pookie's counter under these plates. Then we're going to ask Miss Pookie to come over and be our taste tester and see what she thinks about them. Now, I thought when I picked both of these up that I had gotten chicken and chicken to compare, you know, apples to apples. But it looks like we're going to be apples to oranges because when I got to looking at the bags just now, I noticed that this one's Southwest style chicken and this one is a beef based, beef and rice Southwest formula. So one of them's going to have beef, one's going to have chicken, but we'll still get the idea. Okay, we're going to take a break for just a few minutes while these finish up. Then we'll be back to do the stir or do the second stir here and get the other one out and see what we got to look at here. All right, we're back. Our 5 minutes are up on this first one, so we're going to open it up. It says to, after 5 minutes, open it up, take the food pouch out and open it up, and you're ready to eat. So we're going to open it up and see what we got. Now, I'm going to tell you, that's created a lot of heat, and that's awful steamy. So I've got something to protect my hand when I reach in there to get that bag, because I don't want to burn myself. There it is. Okay. Now, and I'm going to seal this bag back up so it doesn't spill that hot water out, because it's still producing a lot of hot water. And that steam is still rolling off there. All right. So let's open this one up and see what we got. Okay. Well, that says 1 serving, and that's, I would say that's 1 serving. That's not much more, so. But like I said, it does come with a spoon, salt, and pepper. Get rid of that warm bag there. All right, we should be about ready to get our second stir on this. Did you get another one started for this one? No, okay. So we got that one taken care of now, so we're gonna go ahead and stir this second one. It needed 5 minutes, and then it needs another stir and a stand to help it absorb all the water. It's gonna need 4 minutes. So after we give it a good stir here, we're going to give it 4 minutes. Seal it back up. And go ahead and start us 4 minutes there, Miss Pookie. All right. Now, as soon as we get that up, we'll take a look at what we got here as far as the amounts. And then me and Miss Pookie are going to have a taste test. See which one we like and see which one we like better and which one is maybe not such a good deal. Okay, our timer's ticking down here. We're just about finished with this second one. Got Miss Pookie here. Welcome her to the channel and welcome her to the taste test here. And we're fixing to open this one up and empty it out. There's our alarm. So, and you don't have to be that exact, you know. About 5 minutes on the first one and about 4 minutes on the second one. You just want to be sure it absorbs all that water. You don't want it to be too soupy, but you sure want to get it good and done. So now we're going to dump this one out on this other plate. And I'm going to try to get it all out of there. There we go. Now, that's a pretty good bunch there in the second one compared. Uh, I don't know if I'd call it twice as much as the first one, but it's probably close. But it's definitely a plate full meal. Depending on what you've been doing for the day, you may want some more food, so this would be a good choice for that. Okay, so I got Miss Pookie some clean spoons. So this is the Southwest chicken with rice meal from O'Meals. Okay, getting a little head nod. Well, she doesn't understand yet. She's going to have to talk during this thing a little bit, give us a little feedback.
I have my mouth full. That's good.
All right. All right, now get your other spoon, try a little bit of this other one, and see what you think about
You're
it.
not going to try?
I'm going to try them both too.
This one looks a bit more appetizing.
Okay, she thinks the old meals looks a little more appetizing. I'm going to try it while she tries the first or the second one. That old meals has a good chunk of chicken in it. I mean, good pieces of chicken. They're they're a pretty good chew. And then I'm gonna try the Mountain House. I can taste the meat flavor in the Mountain House, but I don't get a bite of meat. And I look kind of through it. I don't see a chunk of meat. And I know freeze drying, you're probably going to cut it pretty thin and cut it pretty small. But it does have a good beef flavor to it.
It is spicy.
And it is spicier. I agree. I think it has a little more spice to it if that's to your liking. It also uses potato shreds, kind of like hash brown potatoes, instead of the rice like the old meal. The old meals uses the rice base. This uses a potato base. Um, but I think both of them are edible.
Yeah.
Like I said, you've got the convenience here of not having to build a fire, not having to get a stove out. It heats in its bag on its own. It's what they call one serving. You know, maybe for a lunch or something that you didn't want to stop and build a full fire for if you're out backpacking or hiking, that might be a good, quick, easy meal. But if you want something a little more hearty, you might look at the Mountain House because you'd get a little bit more in it with the 2 servings. And you get the higher calorie count as well because if you're out hiking or out doing much in the woods, you'd need some good calories whenever that came around. So, what's your opinion? Which one would you vote for if you were voting, Miss Pookie?
I would vote for the chicken.
She'd vote for the Southwest chicken, and she's kind of a chicken person. I'm just going to say I thought this was chicken as well when I picked it up. I didn't read very close, so I didn't notice that it was the beef flavor. I was kind of hoping they were both the chicken for the comparison, but I have to agree. I think for taste and texture, the chunks of chicken in that one are better. But like I said, for longer term storage, for a more hearty meal, you know, the potatoes, the starchy potatoes would probably be a little more energy in them than the rice would, and you'd get more out of this, like you said, if you had one of these for each person in the group. And even though it says it's two servings, if you've got a couple of adults or a couple of hardy kids that have been out working all day or hiking all day or something, they're going to want more than just half of this. So you need to be prepared for that. Anyway, we've had our taste test. Now me and Miss Pookie are going to enjoy the rest of this for our supper tonight. We appreciate you joining us here. We'll be doing a wrap up out on the porch in just a little bit. See you outside. Well, back out on the porch now. Me and Miss Pookie finished our supper while it was still hot, and we determined it was pretty good. We tried both of them again. Both of us tried both of them again and ate out of both of them a little bit. And we did find some better chunks of meat in the mountain house before it was all over with. They weren't as substantial as the chicken chunks in the other one, but again, that was freeze dried, and I think that makes a reason for that. And Miss Pookie liked the old meals, and I'd have to say for taste and texture and everything, I would agree that was probably the better tasting one. But for the amount and the value, I think and neither one of them were very hard to make, but I think the Mountain House would probably be the better choice for young men out active all day and everything. You know, they're going to need some sustenance when it's over with, and that's a good way for them to get something to eat. And like I said, you might plan on 2 of those for 3 people instead of 1 of those for 2 people, just to be sure you had enough. It's always better to have a little too much food than not enough food, especially when everybody's hungry. So anyway, we got that wrapped up in the kitchen tonight, and me and Miss Pookie's had a little supper, and it's kind of getting on toward evening. The sun's headed down a little bit. The shade's getting a little longer out here on the porch, and well, as usual, I appreciate you joining me here on the porch. And so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like what I do, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell there for notifications. And as always, I appreciate you joining me here on the porch with a glass of Miss Pookie's iced tea, because that Mountain House was a little bit spicy.